Hi everyone, welcome back to MJS Coaching Football and thank you for watching my channel because as always, I do appreciate it. Today in my continuing defensive drill playlist, I'm going to talk to you about one of the drills we use to help prepare our players in order to make a tackle. And what that means is, obviously, ball carriers just don't let you tackle them. And so one of the more difficult tackles in the open field in particular is when the ball carrier uses the stiff arm or straight arm, right? So you can't just go ahead and make a tackle through the stiff arm or the straight arm. You got to defeat that first before you can make the tackle. So you need to prepare your players on how to do that properly. So this drill, it's simply we call it breaking the stiff arm tackle, does just that. And what we do to make it as realistic as possible is we combine block destruction, escape with the pursuit, and then ultimately the tackle prep, right? How do you get yourself in a position to actually make the tackle once you get there? Because the back's doing everything they can, or the ball carrier, I should say, could be a receiver, right? Or quarterback, is doing everything they can to prevent you from making that tackle. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the setup and execution. And again, this is something that we were not able to film this spring for the reasons I stated in a previous video. So you'll have to watch that video, and in order to do that, you got to hit that subscriber button. It doesn't cost anything, so, right? So first things first, we do this with all our positional groups, not just the linebackers. Okay, but since that's my positional group, right, here you go. We line up the linebackers on the pop-up, PU pop-up, and we always have the handles facing the linebackers. They got their hands on the handles. They pull the pop-up right up against their face mask. All right, that's how we do it, right? So it's the stun tear drill. Again, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button and you can watch the stun tear drill. So we combine the stun tear drill with one of all of our pursuit tackle drills, including the tackle roll. But now we're going to add that component of, well, what do we do when we're getting the stiff arm, right? So what we do, the pop-ups takes care of itself. We have a coach or a manager act as a running back, and they put on one of the crayons that we have to simulate the stiff arm. Now it's been, it's happened, I should say, in the past that I've had to be both the ball carrier with the crayon as well as handle the tackle roll. So what I've done is I've had a linebacker, whoever's in the last in the line, comes and handles the tackle roll, and then the linebacker that finishes the drill becomes that person that roll. Okay, so that's a little bit of a preview once we get down to the end of the coaching points. But that's who handles the crayon. Okay, and then as I said, it's a manager or coach. It's also linebacker. Could be the same person, right? So I know in high school you sometimes have very limited resources, so it's not hard to do. Stand there, hold the crayon, have the tackle roll here, push it. I would really suggest using another linebacker if that were the case, but if you really wanted to minimize, time standing, waiting, whatever it might be. Like if you only got a couple of three, you may not want to use the linebacker here. See what I'm saying? Okay. And then what happens is if you're using somebody to tackle roll, once they roll it, they go to the back of the line. This person becomes it right, etc., etc. If a coach is doing this when the linebacker finishes the drill, they hand the tackle roll, they go to the back of the line. Okay. I mean that's how easy it is to set it up and execute it. The coaching points. First thing is we're reinforcing that stun tear. Frequently, especially young players, they do a drill great and then they forget all about it and they go to the next drill and they can only focus on the aspects of that particular drill. And then when they get to the situation, they don't execute the stun tear. Right? So there's a lot of different things that when your drills don't show up on tape, as a coach, you got to ask yourself, why not? Well, sometimes, very often, it's just the youth of the player, the inexperience. Okay, so this is a way to connect the dots for your players. Reinforce the stun tear because they got to do that first. Then they got to pursue and get in position to make the tackle. And now the next thing, well, what happens when the ball carrier is using the stiff arm, right? Because they're not just going to let you tackle. So it's all the usual stun tear techniques. It's all the normal pursuit principles, chasing the back hip, sprint, close the distance first, then shimmy, get in the position to be under control on that back hip. Now comes the key, the new piece, right? Defeating that stiff arm before you can tackle. Because when you try to tackle through a stiff arm, more often than not, you lose. Okay, hence that's why they use the stiff arm. And if they time it up right, it's really tough. So I'll talk about that in a second. But we teach just two simple techniques. Near hand, either the chop or the swipe. Okay, and the swipe could be upward. It depends on the position of the hand. It depends on the height of the ball carrier relative to the height of the tackler. I mean, there's a lot of different variables involved, okay? But if I'm coming this way, my near hand is here or here. Swipe. Chop, swipe, could be up if the hand is up, right? So we just near hand chop or swipe, near hand chop or swipe. Keep it simple, okay? And that's what we do. And so, in this case, the linebacker is going to their left. Once all linebackers have gone to the left, the coach and the tackle roll simply move over here, and now they do the same drill. Don't move everything. You don't have the time. Have it set up so that you can efficiently get everybody 2 reps, 1 left, 1 right, without using up a whole lot of time. Okay, we got 5-minute blocks. And we're able to execute 3+ drills in those 5 minutes, and everybody gets the reps. Okay? So hopefully this is making sense, and I'll talk about that at the very end. And then a key coaching point is if you're doing it yourself, that's not going to be hard to do, meaning keep the tackle roll as close as you can to the person with the crayon. You don't want a lot of separation because then that's unrealistic also because you're tackling the same person who's the crayon you defeated. You see what I'm saying? So if somebody else is pushing the tackle roll, no matter who it is, have them as tight as possible. And the way to do that is have them stand next to you and just push the hips. So then once they defeat it, bang, there's the tackle. Boom, boom. And that's what it needs to be. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. We can execute and do execute this drill in helmets, uppers, and full pads. This is something we do every week in season. It's something we do every cycle 1 in preseason, which is a whole other video. But this is how we rock it, okay? So again, you got to teach your players, reinforce, connect the dots, block escape. Then you got to pursue. Then they're not going to let you tackle them. How do you prep yourself to make the tackle? In this case, how do you defeat the stiff arm? Okay? So hopefully that makes a bunch of sense. If it doesn't, please reach out to me at coachmjsullivan@gmail.com because I'd love to talk football with you. And if you ever have questions, you can email me, and if need be, we can get on the phone and we can even do a video. All right? I hope you have a great day, and again, thanks for watching.